and welcome back to my channel. I review basses and bass gear and post live videos of my bands and some other fun assorted stuff. I may be doing some other funky stuff coming up. If you like what you see, please subscribe, comment, throw a like, share, and stick around. Let me know what you think. Check out my other videos. But anyways, today we're looking at the Gibson Non-Reverse Thunderbird. This is the 2021 reissue. This one here happens to be an example in Inverness Green. Beautiful bass. At least I think so. Anyways, what's up with the Gibson non-reverse? What does that mean? Well, Gibson came out with the Thunderbird bass in 1964. It was their first attempt at a full-scale 34-inch bass. It was a companion to the Firebird guitar, so they had the Firebird guitar, Thunderbird bass. And it, you may have seen Thunderbirds. They look more like, a little more like this. Not exact, but closer to this. So the problem that arose was that it had kind of an offset waist, which is a design that Fender had actually copyrighted. And they sued, and to make amends, Gibson redesigned the bass and flipped it, so it is now non-reverse. Of course, this kind of looks a little bit more like the instruments that Fender was claiming copyright infringement on, the Jaguar and the Jazzmaster. But, what do I know? Anyways, but the Thunderbird came as a single pickup or a double pickup bass. The single pickup was the Thunderbird 2. The double pickup was the Thunderbird 4. Now you're wondering where's 1 and 3 and all? Well, they had this either back and forth, odd, even numbering nomenclature going with the Firebird guitar. So the Firebird 1 was a 1 pickup Firebird bass, the Thunderbird 2 was that, and the Firebird 3 was like a 2 pickup, and back and forth, really strange. But that's Gibson for you. Anyways, so around 1966 is when they made the change, and then production went into, I think, into the early 70s. Never totally caught on completely, but a few famous users of this bass, one of them being Leon Wilkerson, the bass player for Lynyrd Skynyrd, who I believe got his as a gift from John Entwistle, bass player for The Who. And John Entwistle supposedly loved these basses. When he heard they were going out of production, he went and bought up as many as he could because he liked the way the necks were and thought they were the perfect bass. Of course, Entwistle, if you know anything about his history, he went through a lot of different basses and different styles, and ended up having his own custom Thunderbird bass made with Fender necks and Gibson style bodies. But that's a whole other story. Anyways, so Gibson, as I said, discontinued this, and they brought back in the 70s the Reverse Thunderbird, and that has more or less been in regular production since the 70s. Very popular. Well, maybe at some point I'll have another one of those for a video. But the non-reverse was announced, I think, in 2020, and I've always loved this style. I used to have an Epiphone version, Epiphone back in the 90s, made one this body shape. The difference is, though, it had a Precision and Jazz bass pickup in it, and the headstock was reversed as well as it is on the Firebird guitars, so that your tuning pegs were on the bottom, so your E string was an incredibly long reach as opposed to the G string. I got a picture of me somewhere with that. Also, I was lucky enough to check out a original version of, I think, a '67 Thunderbird 2 that a friend of mine have. A picture somewhere of mine. If they find them, I'll throw them up. But Gibson announced the reissue, and I had the Epiphone. I got rid of it. I wish I didn't. I thought it was a pretty cool bass. Now they're really hard to find, and people pump up the value on them. They probably sell more than they're actually worth. That's the market. But Gibson announced this. They brought it out. The difference, other than the body shape, is that it is a set neck as opposed to a through neck, which the Thunderbird, the not reverse Thunderbird, has. I think it's a 7-ply neck that Gibson makes, so it's a very nice, solid all the way through. So this is a set neck as opposed to neck through. Has the Thunderbird pickups. and it is available in 3 colors. Sparkling burgundy, I believe, is one. Is it Lake Placid blue? I think it's Lake Placid blue. And Inverness green. And I really dig the Inverness green. I think it's pretty fancy. It has a slight metallic hint to it, so just a little bit of sparkle. Overall, pretty lightweight bass. What's nice about this is it comes with hip shot tuners. So Gibson went all out on that. Like Gibson hip shot lightweight tuners. So no issues there with too much weight from the tuners. The Firebird pickups, as I mentioned, you have individual volumes and a master tone and a top mounted input jack. The bane of many people's existence, the High Lobster, the Gibson 3-point bridge. I'm not as crazy. I mean, I'm not, whatever. It's not the easiest bridge to deal with. Typically, though, I mean, once you get it intonated, it's not an issue. This is one of my personal keeper basses. I'm going to be looking at probably replacing this either with the hip shot version of the replacement bridge or possibly the Babzik bridge. I haven't decided totally yet, but this bridge may be going. Otherwise, I mean, pretty straightforward, simple bass. For me, it's not a long reach because I'm gigantic with long arms. A big knock on the regular Thunderbirds is that they don't balance well on straps. Well, this one here, maybe not balance on your lap, but I can tell you that on the strap, this bass here balances very well. Let's see. I use shower strap locks on all my basses right now. I used to use Dunlops. Back to showers. But as you can see, no neck dive. It just sits there right where you put it, which is very nice. Typically, basses that have an upper horn that is this far back, this is back to the 17th fret practically, tend not to balance well, but they did a good job on this one. But rosewood fretboard, it is mahogany body, finished all the way through. You got your rear control panel here, very simple wiring. The differences from the vintage one is that the vintage one did not have the three-point bridge. It had a separate bridge with a tailpiece, much like the Epiphone Embassy bass has. And the controls were all in line, and the input jack was down here. Now, I've seen people go ahead and swap these. I haven't looked into this, but I'm sure there's more than enough wiring where you can put the input jack down here if you want instead of here. My purposes, I think it works okay. It's nicer, it's up out of the way. It keeps everything in a nice, easy to reach pattern, but there you go. Pretty straightforward. Gibson 2021 non-reverse Thunderbird. Now, let's check out how it sounds. So I'm going through my Mesa DE800. You're getting the direct sound. I'm getting the whole room sound, so lucky me. But you should be able to get a good idea of what the pure sound of the bass is. So first, let's go both pickups, pull up all the way. Tone halfway. Tone off all the way. Neck pickup, tone up all the way. All right, now bridge pickup, tone up all the way. Now, bridge pickups tend to be nasally, and this one definitely is, but not bad. Pretty, still got a lot of definite heft to it. Not too much. A lot of bridge pickups you don't want to use on your own. But this one here definitely, I think, works out well on its own. All right, tone halfway. Tone off all the way. All right, not bad. A lot of useful tones. I really love this bass. Yeah, get some clank going in there. A little sloppiness on my left hand and get the pick pumping. This is a rock and roll bass. That was everything all the way up, by the way. But yeah, I mean, that's bridge halfway, neck up all the way, tone up all the way. I mean, I've seen people describe this as, oh, it's a dark bass. I don't know. Not dark to me, but what do I know? These are my tastes. I think it works pretty well. And that's the opposite there. It's a tone up all the way, the bridge up all the way, and the neck halfway. Tone roll back, same settings. Yeah, so like I said, I'm really liking this bass. Anyways, so what do we got? So these run for about $1,800. At least they did before. What they are at now, I'm not sure. I know inflation's going crazy, but you know, you want a nice American-made bass, very solid quality, top-end hip shot tuners at least. The bridge, your mileage may vary and your thoughts may vary. Pretty straightforward. So meat and potatoes, rock and roll. Let's get going. Knock it down, bass. Plus, I mean, look at this thing. You show up at a gig or a jam with this, people are going to be like, hey, that's really cool. So if you're into that, I am. So if you're into that, this has got it in spades. But, you know, let me know. What do you think? Do you prefer the reverse? Have you checked out the non-reverse? What are your thoughts on that? Please feel free to share them in the comments. Like I said, I've seen some people call it dark and not like it and kind of poop on it. I mean, it's a Gibson, so it's pretty easy to hate on it, I guess. But as far as I'm concerned, this is going to be a keeper bass for me. I love it. It's incredibly easy to play. That's the other thing. The neck, I didn't get into that. The neck, as you can see, is pretty thin. I got the action nice, medium low, I guess. But it's really easy to get around. Very narrow, very jazz bass-like up here. And it has the backward slant or the tilt back headstock like most Gibsons have, so you don't have to worry about string trees or anything. really overall a pretty solid package. A-OK, thumbs up in my book. But again, let me know. Feel free to comment. Let's get a discussion going. Check out my other videos. Subscribe. I got a whole playlist of bass reviews. And yeah, thanks for stopping by, and rock on.